Hello folks, and welcome to the final edition of Greatest Gaming Rig. I'm Mark Walton, and joining me as ever is fellow PC professor Jane Douglas. It's been a wild ride these past few weeks, so many terrifying blue screens of death. There's blood, sweat and tears in this rig, but don't worry, we'll be cleaning all of that off before we ship it off to our lucky winner.
With the build complete and benchmarked, we decided to step it up a notch and overclock this beast. So Mark, run us through what you've done.
So what we've done is overclock this from a kind of, well, quite a fast 3.33 gigahertz.
Pathetic. 3.3 gigahertz.
Pathetic.
Okay.
To a very, very nice 4 gigahertz. So over here you can see that the processors are running at 4 gigahertz, 4,000.18 megahertz, there you go. And what we've done to do that is just increase some of the voltages, which you can see here. And the interesting thing about it was it didn't actually need that much voltage to get it up to that speed, which is very, very cool. And
you said you can go higher, but 4 is the sort of maximum stable.
Absolutely. So, you know, we could go up to 4.3, 4.4 gigahertz, I think, on this cooling setup. But, you know, that's going to require more work than anything to get it up to that. And this took me a good 2 days to get this stable at 4 gigahertz and running without any crashes. And it's very, very nice as it is now. All
right. So tell us about the Windows Experience Index.
Yes. Well, everyone's seen this. It was part of Vista and is now part of Windows 7.
Has everyone seen it, though?
Well, okay, maybe not everyone. But if you've got a Windows 7 or Vista computer, you will have noticed that your PC scored out of 7.9 on certain things, and it gives you an overall score telling you how good Microsoft thinks your computer is. In this case, we've got 7.1. Now, that's because what Windows does is our graphics cards are enabled in SLI, and it doesn't give you as high a score when they're enabled in SLI. When I took SLI off, we got a 7.8 overall. 0.1. I don't know what you have to do to get the extra 0.1 out.
What do you want from us, Microsoft?
I know.
Okay.
Okay, so we've also overclocked the graphics cards. Now, the difference between overclocking the CPU and the graphics cards is the graphics cards isn't really a permanent overclock unless you have this program set to run on the computer like all the time. But what we have done is overclock them for the moment to 800 megahertz on the core clock and 1600 megahertz on the shader clock. Now you could go a little bit further, but given that we're using the standard cooling and that when you turn the fans up on this, it sounds like a hurricane. That's about as much as we can get out of it for the moment, but it still runs plenty fast enough with that.
Fantastic.
It's really, really great.
Okay.
Cool. So we ran our benchmarks again with all this overclocking done, and we got some new scores for you. We're not going to run through all the benchmarks again, but we're going to hit you up with some numbers. Okay. So, Jane, what's the first
in
one?
In Cinebench, we went from 16.51 to a stonking 19.62.
Which is ridiculously fast. That's a really amazing score for Cinebench. 3D Mark Vantage is another one we ran. Now, previously we hit around 59,000, and this time we've increased to 62,000 on the score.
And in Union's Heaven benchmark, remember that one, we hit 1301 from just over 1200.
And performance overall across games has improved by about 12%. So, I mean, about 12% extra frames per second on average, which is fantastic.
Benchmarks are all well and good, but really it's all about playing the games. And as you can see, we've been playing on 3 1080p 3D monitors, running games at that mind-blowing 5760 by 1080 resolution, and yeah, in 3D, using NVIDIA's 3D Vision Surround.
So Jane, now you played some of this. We tried some Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Yes.
What did you think of it in the 3D?
I mean, it looked really spectacular. I say that's someone who's a little bit skeptical about 3D generally. That, in addition to having this kind of panoramic 3-screen setup, is really, really special. Yeah. I don't see myself playing an entire game in 3D, just for, I don't know, I imagine it gets... I imagine the novelty wears off, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But from time to time, if there's a particularly beautiful scene, I can see myself totally pulling out the 3D glasses, which in fact you have got.
I do have the 3D
and
glasses.
And they're all right with NVIDIA especially. They're nice and light and they're not bulky.
Not too bulky.
Like some of my less favourite 3D glasses.
Still not good, the glasses over glasses look, sadly, but there you go. So, I mean, do you think it actually enhanced the gameplay in any way using the 3D setup?
Well, I mean, not gameplay, because it wasn't designed around being a 3D game. It enhances the visuals, for sure. And yeah, nice to see that it didn't really seem to impact on frame rates too heavily, which is a problem in other cases. But like you say, Battlefield Bad Company 2 has been pretty well optimized for 3D.
Yeah, it's designed for NVIDIA's 3D Vision. It's one of the few games that is. One of the interesting things that I noticed from this, you know, though, is that the PC system tends to suffer, I notice anyway, from less flicker. I don't know about yourself, but did you notice anything like that?
I have seen a little flicker recently, not on this, but on other machines, and I can't say I noticed it on this. So yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's pretty good tech from NVIDIA, this, and even when you're using the 3 monitors, like you're saying before, there's the bezel stuff. You don't notice it as much in 3D as you do.
Yeah. It kind of merges the 3 screens better than in the absence of 3D.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a nice side effect.
All right, well, you can find out more details on our overclocked benchmarks as well as a photo gallery of the PC itself over at tinyurl.com/GSUKPCFinal.
And now to the main event, picking a winner of this awesome rig. Whoever wins will be taking home our custom-built PC, along with these 3 Acer monitors, a 3D vision kit, a ProSpec SteelSeries accessory bundle, as modelled by the lovely Mark Walton, yes. Astro Gaming's top-of-the-range A40 headset and mix amp, as well as our unconditional sadness and resentment.
Yes, indeed. We will be very sad to see this go. So the question we asked you was, how much do you think the rig would cost in total if you got all the parts at standard price? And as a tiebreaker, we asked you to tell us in 50 words or less why you thought you deserved it.
The answer to the question is a mammoth £8,023.41. That's almost enough for a deposit on a house or enough to buy a small car. And we love small cars.
We do love small cars. So we had quite a few entries at around £8,000-ish. But there was only one winner who came the closest out of everyone with an entry of £8,030. And, drumroll, the winner is...
That was Christopher Knight, who wrote, he's an 18-year-old student and quite a computer gaming enthusiast who's currently saving for 2 major reasons, university fees and a powerful gaming computer. He says, I come from a working class family and therefore can't afford a super powerful computer like this. In fact, it would most likely be the only chance I'll ever have to achieve something as great as this.
Exactly.
And who are we to deny him greatness,
exactly.
right? I think that's a little more than 50, but he was very close.
He was easily the closest with the number, so that was the main point of that.
Of
so if if it come down to the wire, we would have taken that more into account. But hey, he came closest.
Very close.
Well done, well done. So thanks to everyone that entered the competition and to everyone who checked out the videos over the past few weeks. We are really, really sad to see this machine go. In fact, I'll expect they'll be dragging me out of the building with myself sort of attached to it. But let's not dwell on that. Let's remember the good times that we had when we were using this computer. Till we meet again, spotters, happy gaming.
There's a brand new morning where the ocean meets the sky. A ray of hope for those who stop and wonder why. To each and every one darkness calls. From the great cloud or hard rain falls, I'll be waiting here to pull you through. When evening fades into the blackness of the night, you feel so lonely and you need a guiding light. When the cold wind bruises you, you pray to God he refuses you.